Hello everybody, this is Fernando for the latest Cryptids and Monsters of the Week video. Thought I would mix this one in as I'm looking at more of the ghosts and spirits suggestions that you all have. I wanted to talk about this one too because when I saw the information, something that instantly attracted me was the fact that there's actually a real life coin that commemorates this cryptid. I don't recall anything like that happening with any other cryptids out there. I could be wrong, but nothing else stands out, at least for the moment. So I thought to have that be very interesting because essentially it's a real life circulation of a cryptid, in this case on real currency, and it has to do with Quebec's own version, Canada's own version of their Loch Ness monster. So pretty interesting stuff. It has to do with this. You're looking at it now, you'll see why it's called essentially their own version of the Loch Ness monster. It's called Memphre, and it's supposed to be this lake monster that inhabits a particular location there in Quebec, Canada. So let's go ahead, let's talk about all the info associated with this cryptid. So what is this Memphre? Well, again, it's a lake monster, very much so like the Loch Ness monster, that inhabits a lake there in Quebec, Canada. It's been there for a long time, apparently, enough that there's been sightings on it throughout, I think, the last couple of decades at the very least. It has to do with the location known as Lake Memphremagog, hence the name of this monster being Memphre. And the way the story goes, if you go to that lake and you visit it periodically, then you'll have some chance, maybe not much, but some chance with regards to seeing this creature. But yes, essentially it's just like any other interpretation of the Loch Ness monster. It has the same features, the same long neck, the same aquatic body, the fins on it, also the coloration, very much so. Even when it comes to the sightings of it too, it looks very much like the Loch Ness monster. Like when people see it from afar, let's say in the sea, they have it pretty much works or acts the same way, frustratingly so, as the Loch Ness monster. I say that frustratingly because these creatures, they all seem to have the common habit of never rearing their full body up on the water. You'll always just see something in terms of maybe its snout, maybe the back of its, let's say, a spinal area, maybe if you're lucky a little bit of its neck, but that's about it. You won't see anything else, and that's why it remains such a mysterious creature as it is to this very day, from back then all the way to today. But yes, if you go there to that location, you might have a good chance of running into it. In fact, you're looking at this picture here. The translation of it is from another language. It seems like it's Spanish, but basically it says like these are all the sightings associated with this creature back in 1996, and you'll see that you can count at least 7 or 8 of them here just within that 1 year. So this lake also seems to be there where it's surrounded by land, but big enough for a creature like this to enjoy its habitat on an almost carefree basis, where it won't really run into too many humans. Otherwise, there would have been many more sightings by now. Alas, though, the last sighting associated with this creature seems to be in 2005. Who knows? Maybe it found a way to get away from the lake, or maybe it's still there at the bottom of the lake hibernating, or it just could be dead. Who knows? But that is the last known sighting back in 2005. It hasn't stopped, though, that location there in Quebec from enjoying lots of tourism, because as I was looking at some of the pictures regarding this Memphre, I noticed that it definitely has a lot of hallmarks tied to it. Like, for example, you're looking at this, which is a statue, I guess. It could be the closest thing to a statue showcasing this Memphre on it. It looks very artistic. It's pretty large. It's not something that would have just been done overnight. No, whoever commissioned this definitely put a lot of effort into it. I don't recall anything like this as far as the Loch Ness monster, with regards to, like, let's say a statue that big dedicated to it. But yes, at least the tourism location definitely pays attention to it. And then you'll notice this here too. It seems like there's tours that seem to go across that lake too. This very day, like you can go there, probably take a tour, and if you're lucky, who knows, you may get to see this creature yet again. Maybe it's going to make its appearance after its hibernation. But by far the most distinct feature to me as far as its tourism has to do with this. I mentioned this earlier. This is the coin that you can use there in Canada to this very day. It's a 25-cent coin. It was commemorated, I believe, back in 2011. Obviously, like, these aren't things that normally you would use in circulation. They're supposed to be more of a collector's standpoint, but for all intents and purposes, it should still be a usable coin. So that's very interesting, because I don't recall like Bigfoot or other type of all-star cryptids being commemorated on dollar coins or some other type of coins within the country they're in. So the fact that they went out and did this there in Quebec, it shows the attention that this place has. But otherwise, that's pretty much all the info. Very brief, unfortunately, when it comes to this Memphre. Almost as brief as, let's say, its appearances. You've seen some of the pictures by now which showcase purported images of this Memphre, all very hard to discern, just because of the fact that this thing just remains so elusive, always so far away, always mimicking the Loch Ness Monster method of just being out of reach. If only there was that one chance, that lightning in a bottle chance, where you could have this creature stick its full body out, and let's have a tour bus, or I'm sorry, a tour boat nearby, cameras ready, that would just blow the water out when it comes to the world of cryptids. But no, at least until we get that chance, you'll basically just see more images of this thing, of what could be like a bump in the water pertaining to this Memphre, and that's the closest that we'll get. So, but if anybody has any more info, anything else I might have missed, it's a little brief again, but if anyone has been there to that location, Lake Memphremagog, for example, or anyone has been by lives in that Quebec area and knows of these stories, please post those comments below. I wonder if there's even festivals tied to this creature, tied to this monster, because of its popularity. So, all right, everybody. Thanks again as always. Take care.